cousins. Hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying the content. Trying to do different things. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm over like trying to just like flip out about how terrible this product is. Okay. We already know what we getting. The last thing I want to be is a victim and lie to you and tell you how good this shit is. It sucks. So we need to be talking about other stuff that's happening in the wrestling world, right? Cool. I'm glad we're on the same page. There's a place for all of that. And y'all know where to go. But I'm not going to sit here and continue to talk about the same old shit. We're going to move forward and just enjoy what we could enjoy out of it. That's it. That's why I'm here, to have a good time. Because if I sat here and just went on and on and on about Paul Leviskate and how he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, this ain't going to be fun for me or you. But I ain't never going to take this motherfucking Air Max off his big ass neck. You ain't got to worry about that. Okay? Good. With that being said, I don't know if I like the way you all are celebrating the box office loss that Dwayne Johnson is going through. I don't know how I feel about that, because y'all know I don't fuck with Dwayne like that. I don't fuck with him for real. For a long time. I lusted after him. And then, all these little things start coming out. And I read that Essence article. And I was like, oh, he ain't the man I thought he was. Whoop the whoop the whoop. But still, the one thing I do like about Dwayne's delusional ass is that motherfucker said, I'm going to be an actor. And these people in the acting world is going to respect me. And I'm going to get in there. He is no different than Paul Leviskate. Paul Leviskate was down to the TED Talk. And he was up there trying his best to fit in with all those executives who have, quote unquote, real shit they're doing with his sports entertainment. Right? Dwayne wants to be a reputable actor. Dwayne wants to be Dave Bautista. Difference between Dwayne, Dave Bautista, and John Cena. John Cena said, I'm a method actor. I'm goofy. I'll show my ass, my dick. I'll do all of that stuff. Now, Peacemaker is very dark. He's showing more range. John Cena does very well with his face and his facial expressions and stuff. But I could give Dwayne his props. This motherfucker said, I'm going to do this. They going to respect me. He got a standing ovation, supposedly, down to the screening of the Smashing Machine. 15 minutes, they said. But it was not a box office success. So I want to talk about these art houses. A24 produced this, okay? Okay, I want y'all to understand A24 and Neon specifically, because you're not going to hear this shit down to the wrestling shows. All you're going to hear is the motherfuckers is selfish and they just want The Rock back on TV. To do what? I don't want DeWayne back in the WWE doing nothing. They did not respect his storyline when he was going to have Kevin Owens turn and do the whole thing and double back. They fucked him over. And whatever vision he had, he said, y'all go ahead and do that. I'm going to go do this. Fuck what y'all talking about. I don't need Dwayne back in the WWE. What I need him to do is come get Ava funky ass. But that's a different conversation for a different day. Let's dive into these art house studios. Okay, so you probably never heard of none of these movies and stuff. A24, we'll start with them. It's a production company. It's an American independent entertainment company, and it specializes in film and television production as well as film distribution. They're best known for distributing and producing modern art house and cult films, including Moonlight, which won the Best Picture Award in 2016, and that whole fiasco, which was basically about the coming of age of a gay black dude, okay? Lady Bird, right, which was about this white girl who had a whole lot of angst. Hereditary ain't nothing to play with. First of all, that's a horror movie with old girl, I forgot her name, but anytime she's in Toni Collette, anytime Toni Collette in the movie, you might as well fucking watch it, because she don't miss. Child, that little girl was going through it, and Toni Collette ended up getting caught up in the rapture. I don't know what, listen. Okay, I didn't see The Lighthouse. I wasn't interested. Uncut Gems is a pretty decent movie with Adam Sandler when he's playing like a more, a jeweler who get caught up in all kind of shit. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Y'all know that was a big win at the Oscars in 2022. I didn't too much care for the movie, but whatever. The Iron Claw. Y'all, that was about the what's the name of that damn family that all the guys died. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't remember their names, but anyway, Zac Efron played them, and everybody was singing its praises. We had AEW people was in it, The Brutalist, Warfare, and it was something else I just watched. I think it's called Bring Her Back or Bring Them Back. Child, that movie was fucking insane. I didn't know what the hell I was watching. Okay? It was about a lady's daughter drowned. So she kidnapped this boy and basically somehow did a seance and got the devil inside of him, held him hostage, okay? And then adopted some kids in her family or whatever because the parents died. The girl was blind, the sister, and she had an older brother. And they end up moving in with her, and she saw the sister look like her daughter, so she was like, I got to have her. And in the meantime, she's psychologically fucking up the brother. And in the end, it was a whole thing. Man, at one point they had that boy eating the side of the damn counter and breaking his teeth out, and then he bit into a knife. Like, this is the type of movies we getting, okay? This is where Dwayne Johnson is mixing it up, okay? The other art house one that I know is pretty famous, it's called Neon, okay? And Neon is an American independent film production and distribution company founded in 2017 by Tom Quinn. Also is the founder of Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. As of 2019, Tim League is no longer involved with all of that. Now, the films that you might recognize from the Neon art house is I, Tonya, Colossal, Parasite. I still don't, listen, I try to watch Parasite. I still don't understand. Tanya Harding is what I, Tanya is about. Palm Springs, Flea, Spencer, The Worst Person in the World, Triangle of Sadness, Anatomy of Fail, and Nora. I always see that, and I'm just not interested in watching it. Long Legs, The Seed of Sacrifice, Fig, and The Monkey. Okay? Parasite is one of the biggest grossing films from Neon. It's like a Asian based situation. Okay, it grossed 262 million and it won Academy Award for non-English best film. Okay, so they had their hit. So with all that being said, and you probably sitting like, girl, why is you telling all that? Because I don't think the Smashing Machine was a lose-lose for Dwayne Johnson. So the Smashing Machine is set for a devastating week 2 drop. Okay, let's read this. This is coming from Screen Rant. Okay, the new Benny Safdie movie, which stars Dwayne Johnson as UFC champion Mark Kerr, opened in theaters on October 2nd and earned a 3-day domestic box office debut of $5.8 million. That marked the worst opening weekend in history for a wide release with Johnson as the lead role. Per Deadline, as of Saturday, the Smash Machine is projected to earn an additional 3-day total of 1.8. By the end of its second weekend in theaters, it's in addition to seeing the movie slide from 3 all the way to number 8 on a domestic chart. This marks a staggering 69% drop for its sophomore weekend. In addition to being the worst drop to any movie in the domestic top 10 this week, this is the second worst drop in history for any movie starring Dwayne Johnson in the lead role, because his worst ever title remains the 2005 Dune, which dropped at 72%. The Smash Machine also marks his worst drop in 20 years. Okay. Additionally, The Smashing Machine is only Dwayne Johnson's 10th movie ever to have a week 2 drop more than 60%. 10th movie? Well, then this shouldn't be like a big deal of Dwayne, right? While his sophomore weekend gross could still exceed expectations by the end of Sunday, it seems unlikely to escape his bottom 5 sophomore drops of all time. Doing so would require the Smashing Machine to earn $2.1 million this weekend, shrinking its drop to roughly 63.8%, and beating 2013 Fast and Furious 6. This may be difficult, though it's not impossible, considering the fact that the weekend's number one blockbuster, Tron Ares, is underperforming and thus is not providing much of a competition. So right now, in Rock's repertoire, Doom tops the list of second week drops. Smash Machine is number 2. Southland Tales is 3. Fast X is 4. Fast and the Furious 6 is 5. Moana 2 is 6. Hercules is 7. Pain and Gain, which in my opinion, he did a pretty good job, right? Playing a slow, muscle-bound kidnapper. I actually like Pain and Gain. Fast 5 was a drop, and Fate of the Furious. Let me tell y'all something. The fact that these Fast and Furious movies is on this franchise is dropping like this in the second week, I don't think he gives a fuck, to be honest. I think you all are making more of a big deal than he is. One thing that can help the Smashing Machine, though, is the fact that the movie has strong reviews and earned a certified fresh score of 72 from Rotten Tomatoes. Now, the Smash Machine cost $50 million to make, and given its brutal drop, it is not going to make that money back, and it won't break even. But this is where The Rock won. I'm going to tell you where. Because this is his coming out party, per se. This is where he shows everyone that I can act. I can do more than just, goofy shit, comedic acting, or just, summer blockbuster, action films, okay? He wants to do more. He's getting older. He want to sit down and chill, and, this is what he wants to do. So I'm not really understanding where he would be losing out. So DeWayne decided to go ahead on the social media because he sees everybody laughing and gloating and, well, guess he going back to WWE. DeWayne said, hold on, bitch. He said, I can't control the box office. But what I can control is my performance and the commitment to completely disappear elsewhere. He said, I will always run to the opportunity. It was an honor to transform into the role. And he thanks the director, Benny Safdie, for giving him the opportunity to do as such. And I'm looking at it, and, listen, this man pisses in fucking bottles on set. So he was very dedicated to whatever they had to do. He said, in our storytelling world, you can't control it. But what I realized, you control your performance and your commitment to the character. It was his honor to transform. Truth is, the film has changed my life, and with deep gratitude, respect, and radical empathy. Okay, now, I listened to some of the reviews from some of the folks on YouTube. Now, I understand what Rotten Tomatoes wrote, but from my understanding, because when it does come out, I'm going to watch it when it comes to TV. Because first of all, I would never go to the movies to see this. I'm just be honest with you. Just because it's Dwayne Johnson. Now, we went to go see Jumanji. Right? My son wanted to see it. I took it. I went to sleep. But he saw Jumanji, or whatever the case may be. The only other Rock movie I saw in the movie theater was, I want to say, no, I think, was it Fast and the Furious? It was one of the Fast and the Furious we went to go see in the movies. I don't think I've ever seen, I did see The Mummy. I was young and turned back then, so I was going to go see The Mummy because The Rock was in it. So other than that, these days, I would never go see The Smash Machine. And I think a lot of people feel because he's The Rock that his audience is gonna, from the WWE is gonna go see the Smash Machine. I heard people say that people from the WWE universe didn't go see it because they're still upset about how WrestleMania went. And if you're one of those people, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? Because it ain't never gonna be that goddamn serious, number one. And number two, I don't think audiences from the WWE universe really go. They think UFC and all that shit goes hand in hand with WWE. It does not. And this just shows you. Everybody didn't go see the Iron Claw. Everybody didn't go see that. Okay? I still ain't watched that shit. And I have no desire to be completely honest with you. From the reviews I saw online, a lot of people said it wasn't about Mark Kerr's rise in the UFC, or what was it called back in the day when it first came out? It was called the Octagon. Everybody was shocked or whatever. It was mostly his tumultuous relationship with his girlfriend, and them two fighting, and him crying, and she doing stuff to him and he doing stuff to her. It wasn't like this whole thing about what Mark Kerr was doing as much as who he was fucking and why it went the way it went. So I don't know. I'm gonna see it when it come to TV. But I was never going to see the Smashing Machine. I'm just not even gonna hold you. And I think I can comfortably say that most WWE fans was not going to see this movie. But I'm not gonna sit up here and gloat. Oh, he a loser. He need to come on back. I don't want to see Dwayne Johnson back in the WWE, whether the shit was a success or not. I think if he really wants to take this acting seriously, and he wants to be respected in Hollywood, he needs to continue to do what he is doing. He took a pay cut, he said, gave some of his money to his co-star, Emily Blunt. Okay? Like, he's taking it seriously. If he really wants to be credible in Hollywood and want them people to see him different, he needs to continue to go on this trajectory he's going on. He got a movie coming up with Martin Scorsese. That's a big fucking deal, okay? If he stays in the art house movies, you bound to get more attention that way. That's just like when everybody's excited to do Woody Allen movies. Even though he married his adoptive daughter, he's a freak. Everybody runs to his movies, okay? You understand? I watched a movie from A24 called Love, Bleeding Lies on HBO Max, and I couldn't tell. It was literally about this big giant ass bull dagger chopping down Kristen Stewart, and then they killed these men. And at one point, she had just ate Kristen Stewart all the way out, and she stood up like she was 32 feet tall, and the goddamn solar system was rotating behind her child. I don't know what these fucking movies is. I didn't finish the movie. But Kristen Stewart is a reputable actress. Everybody loves her since Twilight. That bitch ain't had a movie or a hit in years, okay? So we could just hang up. Oh, it's a flop. No. It's success for him. Now it's a flop for the producers. It's a flop for whoever distributed this, which was, I don't know who distributed it or whatever, but I think it was an A24 film. So, I mean, that's just what they do. So I don't know, like, why everybody's excited. Again, I'm gonna leave it right here because I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want Dwayne Johnson to come back to the WWE. Stay out there in Hollywood and do your thug thizzle. Paul Levesque done disrespected you. I wouldn't want to go back and work with his ugly ass. No way. Y'all get in the comments, tell me what you think.